people are mining the fuel, but there's a set amount of fuel there, and with the digital one, it's slowly running out. You know, it's not like in the real world, like here we can like go and find different sources. You know, once that's out, you know, it's out. They're like kind of leveraging how much Bitcoins they hand out to people as its price grows. You know, if the value grows, then they'll like lower the amount of Bitcoins that are released out to the people.
Okay. So then, based off that, what keeps like when they run out of Bitcoin, what keeps people mining?
What keeps people mining? It doesn't.
Exactly.
So that's one of the issues. That's one of the issues that Bitcoin is currently trying to fix. But it's estimated that it won't be like it will be a couple of decades before that even happens. So it's just kind of one of those issues that they're keeping their eyes on, but they're trying to figure it out. What I personally think will happen is there will be like another version of Bitcoin that immediately emerges, or like as it's running out, there will be a competing company or a competing product that does the same as Bitcoin, but has like a fresh set of you know, like whatever currency they're using. You know, you already have other applications like Litecoin popping up that are doing similar things. So there's no shortage of cryptocurrencies that can pop up. Just the Bitcoins themselves are, you know, running low and whatnot.
Just from a cybersecurity perspective, is there any kind of recovery mechanism?
Recovery mechanism for whenever it gets broken? Well, one of the good things about the blockchain is that you do have like a history of it, but if they get to the point where enough nodes have been compromised to where you have to go and recover things, it's probably better time to like go and start a new blockchain, because already, you know, even if you fix it, there's already the majority of the nodes are compromised, so why would you fix it? You start over and you know, do a new one, which we know would obviously lead to like very big repercussions, but that's what I foresee would happen. I'm not entirely 100% sure on that answer.
That agrees with what I read, because as far as rolling back the blockchain, as far as being the only primary issue of it, and the only primary method other than starting over, and at that point you also roll back all the legitimate transactions that occurred during that time frame as well. So it's kind of, you have to weigh the pros and cons.
It's just one of those hard problems that, you know, you just kind of hope they don't happen. Once it happens, there's tough decisions have to be made.
So if rolling back's the only way to help that, there's got to be, and if the history is tracked, then there's got to be a way to know, okay, we're going to roll back everything, but we also have history on all the legitimate transactions that happened in between now and when we're rolling back to. So couldn't you then automatically
So what I personally would think would happen is there'd just be a lot of transactions that would be spawned that would replicate the transactions. Essentially, they try to essentially roll back the negative transactions rather than trying to recover the positive ones. Yeah, pretty much. So you have like the nodes and you know what went wrong. So instead of trying to roll it back, you try to add more blocks to the blockchain to remedy those issues. That'd be the best approach, because you just can't chop it off and get rid of it. It just can't be done really.
So what I'm understanding is that they've built Bitcoin kind of like the Titanic, like it's unsinkable, but if it ever got halfway accomplished, it's dying.
Absolutely, absolutely. If you can, I'll say this right
all that
now.
money disappears, right? Because it's not
Pretty much.
There's no gold standard or no dollar,
Yeah.
right? So it's fiat.
Yeah. So essentially, right now, last time I checked, there was about roughly 10,000 nodes throughout the world. So they'd have to compromise.
Yeah.
Over
it could be
5
extremely difficult, but
yeah.
if it happened.
If it happened, it could happen. But if it happened, yeah, it's just sinking after that.
It's actually almost happened once.
Really?
I've followed Bitcoin for several years, and it almost happened about 3 years ago. One company had 57% control of the nodes on the network. And that company actually voluntarily throttled themselves back because they knew if they took control of the network,
It would lower the value.
plummet.
Yeah.
So they had a reason not to. There's a disincentive to taking control, and it is that the value is less than that.
And also on that point, I think it's a point that I forgot to mention on there. One of the reasons why people aren't really sure if they should apply the blockchain to a corporate level is because a big part of what makes blockchain function is the fact that you have to mine things and there's competition. In a corporate setting, there's not competition with yourself. You know, you mine it to mine it. But in the real world, the reason why it functions so well, as you mentioned, is because people have an incentive. They make money if they let the blockchain do its thing. If they try to break it, they lose money, so why would they try to break it? It's one of those things, like the security incentive is that there is no incentive to breaking it.
Chaos.
Yeah. It's right. Yeah, it's right.
I think we have one more presentation, right?
Okay, so thank you guys for hearing that.
I would just actually had a really good when I was in high school, it was 40 nights. Was like, and I had 98 hours. I couldn't mind Bitcoin at that time because it wasn't worth it. Or is that fancy? Back then you could buy all your money Bitcoin or something. It was like, I could have yeah, people would like it. It wasn't watching mining rigs, and so I mean, hindsight, 2020, like my friends have like interesting. Hey everyone, real quick.
All right, we ran over on time, and unfortunately, our next speaker, as great and as excited as we are to see her great presentation, she has a meeting that she has to get to, and we don't want to hold her up from that. However, she is going to allow us to send out the presentation to everyone. So if you signed up on the newsletter, we'll make sure that's sent out to you. Unfortunately, she's not able to talk to us today, but I looked through the presentation myself, sneak peek. Looks pretty interesting. So by any means, if you get interested at all, please feel free to contact Leslie. I'm volunteering her, but I'm sure she'd be happy to talk about it. But unfortunately, we're going to have to cut it short and let her go to her meeting. Thank you all for coming, however, and if we can get some other way to get this organized again, we'd be happy to let you know. But again, we'll send out that presentation for her on machine learning, but it looks like she's got a lot of great information to offer to that, so definitely look into it. And if you have any questions, we'll send you her way. With that, let's give another big round of applause to the two people. Tech Systems again, thank you for the food anytime. Please clean up as you can. We've got a trash can over here. And other than that, have a great day. You're already getting because I
I mean, like,
is that a